I struggled with some resentment and judgment about a month ago after that surgery when I was dealing with an obnoxious side effect that I thought the doctors and nurses weren't responding to properly. I judged them. They minimized my symptoms. That's true. I was having a lot of physical discomfort. They did keep putting me off when I wanted more care. There was some truth. I actually did need more care, but it was the way that I was approaching it with the me-them kind of me-them situation, yeah. They kept trying to refer me to other people, passing the buck. But I knew that the issue was surgical, not like something for a dermatologist. So from a microscopic perspective, I had latched on to my thoughts and emotions. I was clinging to them. I believed them. I believed both the thoughts and emotions to be true. And that came from fear, because when we're afraid, we contract around fear-based thoughts as a defense mechanism. Right? After a couple of days of being upset with them, definitely still in a me versus you modality, I sat for a bit and asked myself a few times, what am I clinging to? From last night, you may recall, that's a refuge of the Dharma, right? What am I clinging to? Because when you're upset, you're clinging to something without a doubt. So I uncovered quite a bit of clinging there. I was clinging to mattering, selfing, right? I was clinging to getting it resolved as quickly as possible. So I was clinging to actually not suffering, which is really a fruitless cling, because we're all going to suffer, right? I was clinging to not getting a serious infection, right? There was a lot of clinging. And when I recognized these, especially the selfing ones, I immediately softened. I didn't have to try, right? I just relaxed. And then I took a moment for some self-compassion, the refuge of the Buddha. So we've got the Dharma, then we've got, right? So some refuges that we've been talking about, right? And so with that, the self-compassion, then I knew that on another day, I had been impressed with my medical care, even that surgeon. I remember that other times I felt like I matter to these same people. Just not this time, for whatever causes and conditions. Remember, everything arises on the basis of causes and conditions, right? So, but it's not fixed, it's not permanent. And with that understanding, my heart softened more, right? I knew that something was going on with these causes and conditions in the way we were all interacting. Him, his nurse, me, my primary care physician. So there was some conglomeration of causes and conditions that I didn't fully understand. But I knew it wasn't going to stay that way. So then I saw my macro clinging. So there's micro clinging to my thoughts and emotions, and there's like macro clinging to external things, right? And so I saw those macro clinging, them doing it right, micro clinging, my thoughts and emotions, right? And I saw that all really clearly. When the surgeon finally called on a Friday afternoon to check up on me, I had written quite a few messages that might have been stern in my selfing mode. But I then felt kind and empathetic when he said, he's only a bone doctor. And when I had like an allergic reaction to the surgical glue, a very, very bad one. It's like a rash that kept spreading. He didn't understand how bad it was. So he said, when a rash spreads beyond the surgical area, he doesn't know what to do. That's what he said. I felt his humanity. Even if I was confused, because it's not an uncommon reaction. I just maybe had a really large one. We had a congenial talk. He cooperated and gave me the steroids I wanted, which helped for a few days. We were no longer butting heads. And then when I saw him a week ago for the 1-month checkup, I was wearing a t-shirt that said, grateful. He said, "You're a unique person. I am grateful for you." On his own accord, he asked to see me sooner. Usually they would see me again like at 3 months. He asked to see me at 2 months rather than 3 due to this persistent complication. We want to keep a closer eye on you, right? So by becoming attuned to impermanence as a natural law, my heart softened, my self-being lessened, my interactions changed. I no longer suffered with resentment and judgment, and the surgeon, no doubt, was relieved that I was no longer frustrated. Medicine for all.